Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're taking a look at another Black Series 6-inch figure and I am incredibly excited about this one. It is of course Bo-Katan Kryze from The Mandalorian and this is just an outstanding figure. Hasbro have done a fantastic job with this one. Everything about it, from the paint applications, which are absolutely top tier, the facial sculpt, the accessories, the overall sculpt of the figure itself, everything is just absolutely on point. And again, Hasbro have done an incredible job with this one. Now, I really underestimated the popularity of this figure and the wave in which she comes. She is packed alongside other characters that we've seen in Star Wars animation, such as Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars, Hunter Crosshair and the Elite Trooper from the Bad Batch. Obviously this figure is based on her appearance in The Mandalorian, but we all know that Bo-Katan has indeed appeared in Star Wars animation in the form of the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels as well. So there are multiple areas of your collection in which this figure could be displayed, and I'm having a real hard time deciding where to put her in the collection, whether to display her with the Mandalorian characters or whether to put her in my Clone Wars collection, but that's another issue for another day. Again, this is an outstanding figure. Hasbro really did a fantastic job with this one. Like an absolute idiot, I completely underestimated the popularity of this wave of figures and didn't pre-order it online, and as such most of them are sold out across the board, from Star Action Figures to other online retailers. So thankfully, Smith's Toys here in the UK did indeed receive a shipment of this wave. I walked into their store this morning and there were tons on the pegs. So if you did miss out on this figure or any other wave mates, go and check out Smith's because there are tons in stock. So without further ado, let's jump into the review itself and let's take a look at this awesome figure. So we'll kick things off as always by taking a look at the packaging that this figure comes in. We do get once again standard Black Series packaging for this figure, where we have the colour coded call out for the series in which she appears on the front of the card. So we have that really nice rusty colour for the Mandalorian, which does continue around the side, and then down the spine you've got this really cool image of Bo-Katan with her helmet on. Really nice illustration there. On the back you'll see the number in the series. This is the 10th figure to be released in the new packaging from The Mandalorian. They're really going all out with these characters. We also have that image once again, as well as a brief description of the character. So pretty standard stuff in terms of packaging. Again, really like these new designs, but the figure itself is even better. So let's jump into it and take a look. So here is Bo-Katan Kryze in all her glory, and once again, this is an absolutely incredible figure. Hasbro absolutely nailed this one in terms of the overall sculpt, the articulation, the weapons and accessories. This is a great addition to the collection. Now, one of the things that I noticed right out of the box was the fact that the jetpack that is included is very loose fitting, so the slightest little nudge or touch will send that flying off her back. So just to point this out in the review, I have glued this in place. I didn't really want to do that, but like I said, with the slightest little nudge, this thing just jumped right off the back. So if that's something that's going to bug you, then you might want to look at finding a fix for that. Like I said, I've just super glued this in place. I'm not planning on displaying her without the jetpack, so it wasn't a real issue for me. I didn't want to do it again, as I said, but I did want to lock it in place. So that's one of the accessories that is included with the figure, of course, a removable jetpack. And as you can see, paint applications on this are really nice and crisp. You've got this nice metallic finish on the jetpack itself with these blue highlights throughout. She also features her Mandalorian style blaster pistols, which look fantastic. Very simple sculpt, but they can be holstered into the holsters on the belt there, which look really nice as well. I'll give you a look at that later on in the review. The belt is incredibly detailed, some really nice touches on there, such as the pouches, the buckles and all that sort of stuff, and it is a separate sculpt, so these holsters, like other figures such as Han Solo, aren't actually glued to the legs, which I love because it doesn't limit articulation. And of course the final accessory that she comes with is that incredible helmet, which we'll take a look at again in closer detail in just a little bit, but it is absolutely fantastic. Hasbro have nailed this one. Now, in terms of articulation, this figure is absolutely packed to the brim. Hasbro really are upping their game in terms of articulation when it comes to recent releases in the Black Series 6-inch line. We do of course have a ball joint at the head, and there is of course a ball joint in the head itself and at the base of the neck, so like with most recent Black Series figures, there is an incredible range of movement there. We have hinges and butterfly joints at the shoulders, again great range of movement. The armour pads on the shoulders there don't hinder any of that articulation, which is fantastic. There is a hinge at the elbow and a hinge at the wrist as well. We've got a nice fluid ball joint at the torso there. Again, the armour doesn't restrict any of that movement because it's above the ball joint, which is fantastic. Hinges at the hips as well, swivels at the upper thigh, a hinge in the knee. Once again, no visible pins, which is absolutely fantastic. I love that. And we also have hinges and a rocker at the ankle. So really, really good articulation. You can get this one in some fantastic poses. But one of the things, again, that I've mentioned in previous reviews that I'd like to see included with figures such as this, Mandalorians, and figures, of course, with jetpacks, is flight stands. I really, really want a flight stand for this figure. I think it would have gone a real long way in just completing the overall look and adding that little bit of extra shelf presence. But I'm not unsatisfied with the figure, and I do want to look at getting a flight stand for this one and some of my other figures in the future. I know that Hasbro Pulse are offering them in the US. I've searched online here in the UK, at least on Hasbro Pulse, and I can't seem to find any. And all the flight stands that I've found on eBay are all from China, and I'm not entirely sure whether I trust the quality of those. I have purchased third-party items like that from China before, and they've not been particularly up to standard, so that remains to be seen. But yeah, it would be really, really cool if Hasbro would include those with these figures. As I said, the overall detail on the figure itself is really, really good. As you can see, the gauntlets are really nicely sculpted and well painted. You've got the Night Owl emblems there on the shoulders, which look fantastic. Helmet again is really nicely sculpted. You've got all sorts of dings and scrapes and battle damage going on there, which looks fantastic. Again, you've got the Night Owl print on the front of the helmet itself, and the rangefinder can be posed as well, which is really good. Now, obviously, the helmet can be removed, and underneath we have an incredible likeness to Katie Sackhoff, who of course provides the voice for Bo-Katan in animation and played her in live action as part of The Mandalorian. I'm going to be honest, when I first saw images of this figure, and I've even watched some YouTube reviews on this one, I thought the head sculpt wasn't that great. There was something slightly off about it, if I'm being honest, from what I saw initially. Obviously, the main complaint amongst collectors is the fact that the hair could be a little bit darker. It is a little bit bright in terms of her appearance in The Mandalorian. She does have darker hair in live action. Obviously in animation it is a little bit brighter, so in that respect it's not entirely inaccurate, but that's my main issue with the head sculpt itself. The hair also could have probably been done with being a little bit bigger and a little bit longer, but again, I understand that a compromise probably had to be made in terms of getting the helmet to fit on the head itself. But with regards to the overall sculpt and the likeness, again, after seeing pictures and seeing reviews, I didn't think it looked that great. And it probably doesn't look all that good in this video, to be honest. But once you get this one in hand, my god, is that an incredible likeness. It really captures the overall look of the character and, of course, the actress who plays her. And it's just really, really good. The photoreal face printing technology obviously goes a long way in achieving that look. But this one truly has to be held in hand in order to really appreciate just how lifelike it looks. It's absolutely fantastic. Obviously she's got the metallic headband there as well. The rest of the armour on the figure has a nice metallic finish to it as well. And overall, this is just a fantastic looking figure. It really was a tough call for me whether or not to purchase this figure or Asajj Ventress from the Clone Wars, but I'm really, really happy with my decision to pick this one up first. It really, truly is something special, and again, I'm very, very impressed with it. I love the blend of metallic colours, the browns on the armour, and the blue gauntlets and all that sort of stuff. This one really does pop on a shelf, and I'm just so impressed with it. The helmet itself is really nice. It's a very sturdy, thick plastic, so it's not prone to warping or bending, and it is a real nice snug fit over the head as well. So this figure gets top marks across the board. I am truly impressed with it. Hasbro have done a fantastic job, and this has got me really psyched for the Cosca Reeves figure that is coming out later this year. I can't wait to display her flanking Bo-Katan, and to create a really cool Mandalorian setup in the collection. So obviously this is a figure that I recommend picking up. You'll see some more of that battle damage on the front of the helmet there, nicely printed. But yeah, everything about this one is top notch, and I can't recommend it enough. So again, if you do want to pick this one up online, I'm sure they're going to come back in stock at some point, and as such you'll find a link down below in the video description to staractionfigures.co.uk. and if you can't wait, as I said, if you're in the UK, head over to Smith's. They've got plenty in stock at the minute. So thank you for tuning into this review. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll be back with some more reviews very soon. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the force be with you.